Hello fellow NSXer. Your package for the flash kit should look something like this. You'll receive the module and a zip tie. The zip tie will be used later during installation to secure one side of the plug. It's a good idea to get familiar with the module before you install it, in particular how to connect and disconnect. So to disconnect, you'll see a little tab here on one side of the plug that you'll want to squeeze. If you hear a little click, and once you press it down, continue to press down while separating the plugs, and that's how you disconnect. You'll feel a little bit of resistance when you connect and disconnect, and that's because there's a little gasket in there that keeps a nice and watertight seal. One thing I also want to point out this time is the tab on the underside, right, this little tiny one here where my left thumb is. That will be used to attach the plug assembly to the frame of the car, and you'll see that during the installation as well. Same idea, you would just squeeze that tab. The other thing we can do now is also look at how to change the modes. It's easier to change the modes when the module is not installed into the car, but you can still change it while it's in there. So on one side you'll see two little notches. You can just take a small flathead screwdriver or a pocket knife and to pop the top open. The notches should be on the opposite side of this red dot, so try to remember when you put the top back on to make sure it's on the opposite side, the notches. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop it off. And that's what it looks like inside. So to change the modes is really just setting these 4 switches you see here, and different combinations will give you the different modes. I should have sent you an electronic document that shows the settings for the 16 different modes, and this is where you would do it. My favorite mode is mode 5. But you'll want to check your state vehicle codes to make sure whatever mode you choose is legal in your state, or country for that matter. So go ahead and pop this top back on. The notches are here, red dots here, so I'm going to do the opposite. And there you go. We're ready to install. Okay, so we are ready to install the module. First thing is to locate the plug. I'm standing on the driver's side, looking into the engine bay, and over here is the air box. So just to the right of it is the plug that we want to disconnect. The easiest way to do this is to first disconnect the plug from the frame, and to do that we're going to squeeze the tab that's underneath right here and pull out. So you can see right there it's clipped onto that white little bracket, and I'll just go ahead and clip it right back on so you can see. And then same thing to pull it off, squeeze and pull off. Okay, so once that's removed from the frame, it makes it a lot easier then to disconnect. So on this side here, squeeze that tab and then separate the plug. And there you go. Next step is then to go ahead and plug in the module. So here's the module, and on one side there's a red dot. That'll help with orientation. So on this side is the side that we will use to connect to this plug here. So the red dot's here, that faces towards the rear of the vehicle. And go ahead and plug that in. You'll feel a little bit of resistance because of the gasket, which helps form a watertight seal. And you should hear a nice click, and that lets you know it's in there. And then I'll go ahead and connect the other side, similar fashion. Hear that nice click. Okay, and then that part's done, and we can now just move to securing it. So I'm going to secure it to this plastic piece right here, and I want to make sure it's clean, and I've already cleaned it. I'm going to remove the red liner from the mounting tape, and then I'm going to position again the red dot towards the rear of the vehicle. That just helps with the placement of the wire. And I'm going to stick it in this little corner here. Press down a little bit, and it is nice and snug. And all that is left now is to re-secure this plug to the frame onto this white bracket. So I'm just going to take it there, and it clicks right in. And the plug over here, I'm just going to kind of turn it down like this, take the zip tie, and just secure it a little bit to the wire bundle that's already there. That'll keep it from flopping around too much. And then just take some scissors or some clippers to remove that excess zip tie. And you are all set.